Hey everybody, welcome back to the workshop. I love a good DIY project, but let's be honest, sometimes those projects don't go exactly as planned. That's why I wanted to put together this video. We're diving deep into the top 10 DIY tips that every homeowner, seasoned pro, or first-timer needs to know. Alright, let's get started. Alright, let's talk tools. Having the right tools for the job is like having the right ingredients for a recipe. Start by thinking about the project you're doing. Is it a painting project? A woodworking project? Once you know what you're tackling, you can narrow down your tool choices. For basic projects around the house, you'll want a few essentials: a sturdy hammer, a set of screwdrivers, a tape measure, a level, a utility knife, and a good pair of pliers. These are your go-to tools for just about everything. And here's a little bonus tip: don't be afraid to ask for help. Remember folks, DIY is supposed to be fun. Alright folks, if you only remember one thing from this whole video, let it be this: measure twice, cut once. Every project, big or small, starts with accurate measurements. A wonky shelf or a door that doesn't close properly? Yeah, that's a measurement mishap waiting to happen. Before you even pick up a saw or a drill, mark your cuts or your drill holes with a pencil. And when you're using that trusty tape measure, make sure you're reading it correctly. The big numbers represent inches, the smaller lines represent fractions of an inch. Write those measurements down. I like to keep a little notepad handy. Trust me on this one, folks. Okay, folks, let's talk about something super important: safety. Now, I know sometimes those safety glasses and work gloves can feel like a hassle, but trust me, they're your best friends in the workshop. We're talking about power tools, sharp objects, and sometimes even heights. First and foremost, always, and I mean always, wear safety glasses when you're working with power tools. A tiny piece of flying debris can cause serious eye damage, and when it comes to loud tools like saws or drills, ear protection is key. Work gloves protect your hands from splinters, cuts, and blisters, and depending on the project, you might need different types of gloves. Keep your work area clean and organized. Put away tools when you're finished with them. Remember folks, safety is no accident. Now let's dive a bit deeper. Safety glasses come in various styles and levels of protection. Some are even designed to fit over prescription glasses. Choose the ones that fit you best and provide the most comfort. Ear protection isn't just about earmuffs. There are also earplugs that can be more comfortable for extended use. When it comes to gloves, there are options for every task. Leather gloves are great for heavy-duty work, while nitrile gloves are perfect for tasks requiring dexterity. And don't forget about your footwear. Steel-toed boots can protect your feet from heavy falling objects. Lastly, let's talk about the importance of a clean workspace. A cluttered area can lead to accidents. Always make sure your tools are in their proper places, and that your workbench is clear of unnecessary items. This not only keeps you safe, but also makes your work more efficient. So, take a moment before you start your project to ensure everything is in order. Your safety is worth the extra time. Remember, every precaution you take is a step towards a safer and more enjoyable working experience. Stay safe out there. Folks, before we even think about picking up a hammer or a paintbrush, we gotta talk about prepping our workspace. First things first, clear the clutter. Move furniture out of the way, roll up those rugs, and cover anything you don't want to get dusty. Next, protect your floors. Lay down some drop cloths or even some old cardboard boxes to catch spills and debris. Good lighting is key, folks. If you're working in a dimly lit area, consider bringing in some extra lamps or work lights. Remember, a well-prepped workspace is a happy workspace. Choosing the right materials for your DIY project is like picking the freshest ingredients for a home-cooked meal. The quality of your ingredients directly impacts the final result. Let's talk lumber. There are a lot of different types of wood out there, each with its own strengths and weaknesses. When selecting your lumber, always inspect it carefully. Look for boards that are straight, free of large knots, and haven't been warped or twisted. Now let's move on to other materials. Whether it's paint, tile, fabric, or hardware, always choose quality over quantity. Take your time, do your research, and choose wisely. Alright folks, I know this might sound a little preachy, but trust me on this one, read the instructions. Think of it like this: those instructions are your roadmap to DIY success. They tell you exactly what to do, step by step, to avoid any costly mistakes or frustrating setbacks. Now, I get it. Sometimes those instructions can be a little, shall we say, dry. But here's the thing, take your time, read them thoroughly, and don't be afraid to reread sections if needed. As you're reading, gather all the tools and materials listed. Lay them out in front of you. Remember folks, even the most experienced DIYers rely on instructions. Alright, let's talk paint. A fresh coat of paint can transform a room from drab to fab in a matter of hours. But getting that professional-looking finish, well, that takes a little know-how. First things first, prep work is key. Before you even open that can of paint, you gotta prepare your walls. Clean them thoroughly to remove any dust, cobwebs, or greasy fingerprints. Patch any holes or cracks with spackle, and then sand those areas smooth. Use painter's tape to protect moldings, trim, and anything else you don't want to get paint on. Invest in a good quality paintbrush and roller. When applying the paint, work in small sections using long, smooth strokes. You know folks, even the most seasoned DIYers make mistakes. It's something that happens to everyone, no matter how experienced you are. It's all part of the learning process, right? Each mistake is a stepping stone to becoming better at what we do. But the good news is, most DIY blunders can be fixed with a little ingenuity and a whole lot of patience. You just need to know the right tricks and tips. Let's start with a common one. Wonky shelves. They can be a real eyesore and a nuisance. Simply remove the shelf, add some wood shims behind the brackets to level it out, and re-hang. It's a quick fix that makes a big difference. Next up, stripped screws. Stripped screws can be incredibly frustrating, but there's a simple solution. Try using a rubber band. Place the rubber band over the screw head, then press your screwdriver firmly into the rubber band and turn. The rubber band provides extra grip, making it easier to remove the screw. Now let's talk about paint drips. They can ruin the look of your freshly painted wall. Just wait for the paint to dry completely, then carefully scrape away the drip with a razor blade. It's important to be gentle to avoid damaging the surrounding paint. Once the drip is gone, lightly sand the area and touch up with a bit of paint. This will ensure a smooth, flawless finish. Remember, every mistake is an opportunity to learn and improve your skills. Let's be honest folks, one of the best things about DIY is the potential to save money. But without a solid budget, those DIY dreams can quickly turn into a financial nightmare. First things first, define your scope. What exactly do you want to achieve with your project? Next, it's research time. Break down your project into smaller tasks and start researching the cost of materials. Browse online, visit local hardware stores, and compare prices to get a realistic idea of what you'll be spending. Don't forget to factor in those hidden costs. Things like delivery fees, taxes, and those while we're at it purchases can sneak up on you. It's also wise to set aside a contingency fund for unexpected expenses. Check out local salvage yards, thrift stores, and online marketplaces for gently used materials or furniture that you can incorporate into your project. With a little planning and smart budgeting, you can create a beautiful and functional space without breaking the bank. Utilize budgeting apps or spreadsheets to keep track of your expenses and stay within your budget. Don't hesitate to ask friends or family for advice or help. They might have valuable insights or even spare materials. Remember, the goal is to enjoy the process and be proud of what you create. Happy DIYing! Alright folks, we've arrived at the final and perhaps most important tip on our DIY journey: planning and timing. First things first, define your timeline. How much time can you realistically dedicate to this project each day or each week? Be honest with yourself and don't overcommit. Next, break down the project into smaller, manageable tasks. Create a checklist or a simple spreadsheet to keep track of each task and its estimated completion date. Remember, life happens, and sometimes things don't go according to plan. Build in a little wiggle room in your timeline to account for unexpected delays or setbacks. By taking the time to plan your steps and manage your time wisely, you'll set yourself up for DIY success. Well folks, that's it for our top 10 DIY tips. I hope you found these tips helpful and feel inspired to tackle your next home improvement project with confidence. Remember, DIY is all about creativity, resourcefulness, and a whole lot of heart. Now before you go, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it and subscribe to my channel for more DIY tips, tricks, and inspiration. And be sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. And remember folks, no matter how big or small your project, always remember to have fun and embrace the journey. Happy DIYing everybody!